Hey folks, welcome back. Today it's the 2026 Kawasaki KLE500 on deck, and this is a hands-on ride review aimed squarely at real US roads. From city squeeze and lane splitting where legal to canyon runs and gravel shortcuts that keep the grin wide. First impressions walking up, the KLE500 looks like a proper midweight ADV with rally-light attitude, tall beak, slim midsection, spoke 21-inch front and 17-inch rear that say bad pavement welcome, and bodywork that looks purposeful without cosplay plastics. The stance has that ready-to-pounce look without towering over you, and the saddle shape is smart, supportive in the pocket with enough flat real estate to slide back when you stand for rough patches. Up front, the base bike runs a clean LCD tied into Kawasaki's app for the essentials, while the SE trim cranks it up with a TFT, handguards, and a taller screen that immediately reads touring miles ahead. Fire it up in the 451 cubic centimeters parallel twin idles, calm and confident, the kind of smooth that takes the edge off city chop but snaps awake when you roll on, which is exactly what this class should do. Out in traffic, throttle pickup is friendly at the bottom, then builds a tidy shove through the middle, call it full-on torque for everyday riding. The kind that makes on-ramps fun without feeling like it wants to tear your arms off. The gearbox is slick and positive with an assist and slipper clutch that turns downshifts into grown-up behavior, and it's one of those wicked gear system moments when you clip a string of corners without a hiccup. Brakes are honest in the best way, a big single up front and a rear that actually helps your line, with ABS there when you need it and out of the way when you don't, which matters when the surface goes from okay to who patched this with gravel and hope. Suspension travel is the real tell that this isn't just a cosmetic ADV. Around 210mm at the fork and 200mm at the shock keeps you floating over the ugly while staying composed under hard braking, and it never feels like a pogo stick on pavement. Stock sound is civilized, more hum than bark, but crack it under an overpass and there's enough thrum to make you think about a slip-on if you're chasing that beastly exhaust soundtrack without nuking your neighbors. Out on a quick city-to-canyon loop, the bike's personality shows up fast. It lane splits like a champ where legal thanks to tight hips and predictable throttle, threads parking lots without wrestling you, then settles into a calm 70 to 80 miles per hour freeway lope that doesn't numb your hands. The 3-position windscreen is a simple win, lowest for city airflow, middle for suburban speeds, highest for proper highway stretches, and the SE's taller screen and handguards push the comfort bubble out even more. Crosswinds don't bully it like some taller bikes, and the chassis talks just enough that you trust the front when the pavement goes from smooth to patched in a single block. The gravel bit is where it earns the adventure tag. Stand up, weight the pegs, and it stays planted. Get cheeky with the rear brake and it rotates without trying to high-side your day, which means it's beginner-friendly without being dull for seasoned riders who just want a lighter, simpler tool. If you overcook a corner on broken chip seal, the bike's manners stitch your mistake into a story instead of a repair bill, which is exactly what a midweight ADV should do. Feature hits that matter. The base LCD with Bluetooth keeps the cockpit clean and connected, while the SE bundling a TFT, handguards, bigger screen, and protection bit saves you a round of bolt-ons and second guesses. The 16-liter tank supports real range for a bike in this class, and with the twins' efficiency you're not white-knuckling to the next gas pump every 100 miles. The app tie-in is handy for logging rides and basic stats without turning the dash into a video game, which fits the bike's use more, fuss-less vibe. Comfort check after a few hours, vibes are mild at the bars and pegs, the seat passes the 2-hour no-complaint test, and the ergos let you stand without yoga. Bar width feels just right for traffic leverage and off-pavement control. Night rides are solid thanks to a clean headlight pattern, and the SE's full LED treatment for signals makes the bike pop in mirrors the way it should. Rivals are no joke in this space, which is why the KLE500's recipe hits different, compared to Honda's NX/CB500X road-leaning twins. It brings real ADV geometry and a 21-inch front out of the box. Compared to Royal Enfield's Himalayan 450, it feels more refined on highway stretches. Compared to KTM's 390 Adventure and Kmoto's 450 metric tons, it trades ride mode fireworks for a calmer, do-more-roads approach that many riders will appreciate. If you're stretching to Suzuki's V-Strom 650, remember you're signing up for more weight and cash, which some riders want, but many don't. Let's talk dollars, because that's where this bike gets loud without revving. In the US, The KLE500 ABS lands at an aggressive $6,599 and the SE at $7,499, which undercuts a lot of starter ADV builds that still need a shopping cart of parts to feel ready. Availability is slated early 2026 for dealers, so if you're planning next season's upgrades, pencil this in for test ride day before impulse buying something heavier. For the spec hawks, yes, peak horsepower and curb weight numbers are still in rollout in some materials, and if you live on dynographs, you'll need to be patient for the final print. Owning it looks easy. Chain, pads, tires, repeat, common sizes mean you won't be stranded waiting on unicorn parts, and the 451 platform already has a service footprint across Kawasaki's lineup. Crash protection and luggage are straightforward adds. The frame looks friendly to soft bag mounts and a top box without pain, and a skid plate plus bars will keep oops moments off your wallet. Where does it truly shine in the US use case? Daily commuter that won't cook you in traffic, weeknight canyon stress relief without drama, and weekend light ADV loops where you can stand, breathe, and let the bike do the smoothing. It's a wicked ride for riders who want to ride more days on more roads with fewer excuses, and that's not marketing, it's what the geometry, suspension travel, and price actually invite you to do. What's the catch? If you're hunting max electronics, multi-mode traction, and big published horsepower for bench racing, this isn't your flex. It's deliberately simple, and that's the point. If you're hoping for Thunder God exhaust stock, you'll call it too polite, but a slip-on will sort the vibe without wrecking the manners. Verdict, hype or bummer? It's hype, and here's the honest, Kawasaki nailed the everyday ADV brief with a platform that's approachable, capable, and priced to get more riders off the couch and on the road, and that's the only spec that really matters. The KLE500 feels like the bike you choose when you want the freedom to say yes to detours, dirt connectors, and long rides home after a long day, and you don't want your bank account or your lower back to argue. Your move, America. If you're in California or Arizona and you filter, is this your next lane splitter with weekend gravel on the menu? If you're a Northeast rider dodging potholes, does the long travel make sense over a street twin? If you're in Texas or the Midwest, does the SE's taller screen win the freeway fight? And if you're in the Rockies or PNW, are you bolting on soft bags and heading for Forest Service roads on day 2? Drop your state, your height, and your must-ride loop in the comments, and if you want a follow-up with accessories that turn this into a budget BDR weapon, type KLE build list and let's get to work.